All right, everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Jordan Report and your host, Robert Jordan. Okay, please like, subscribe, and share. All right, I want to go over a couple of articles. A couple of days ago, something happened. The lead prosecutor in the Jeffery Epstein case resigns, okay? Lead U.S. prosecutor in 2008 Epstein case, whose sources say wanted to charge him, resigned, okay? Marie Villafana, the lead federal prosecutor who helped negotiate a controversial plea deal for accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, has submitted a resignation to the Justice Department, the Miami Herald has learned. Her departure comes amid a federal probe into the roles she and other federal prosecutors, including her former boss, Alexander Acosta, had in sidelined a 53-page indictment against a wealthy New York investor in favor of a state plea to a minor prostitution charge in 2008. Epstein, 66, was accused of molesting dozens of underage girls, most of them 14 to 16 years old, at his Palm Beach mansion more than a decade ago. He now faces federal sex charges involving minors brought against him last month by prosecutors in the Southern District of New York. This was 2 days ago. I'm not going to go all the way into this. Okay, so now yesterday, look at this guy. A huge cache of record details of how Jeffrey Epstein and Madam lured girls into the deprived world. A whole bunch of documents, like 2,000 documents, were released yesterday, naming some very powerful people, like former governor of New Mexico, Bill Richardson, Alan Dershowitz, and several other people were named in these documents. Very, very powerful people. Jeffrey had a lot of them on tape and doing some very strange things to young girls. But here's a little bit of the article. A chilling picture emerged Friday of how hundreds of girls, and young women were allegedly trafficked for sex to a number of wealthy businessmen, political, and world leaders by Jeffrey Epstein and his Madam Ghislaine Maxwell, as nearly 2,000 court documents were unsealed in a federal civil court in New York. Okay? The documents, the largest cache to be released in 13 years since Epstein's case began, offer brutal details about Epstein's trafficking of teenage girls in Palm Beach, New York, and overseas, as well as Maxwell's obsessive and often abusive quest to provide him with new girls over a span of years in the early to mid-2000s. Okay? This was just yesterday. This is 2 days, just in 2 days that all this has happened. Guess what happens this morning? Jeffrey kills himself in his jail cell. Now, who didn't know this was coming? He had just so-called had almost tried to commit suicide, a week ago? Okay? He should have been on the suicide watch. Now, me, myself, I said the safest place for him would be jail, but it turns out that not to be right because they obviously got him in jail. Accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein kills himself in New York jail. This happened this morning. Accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein had died by suicide in his Manhattan jail cell, the Miami Herald has confirmed through federal sources. How convenient. The Clintons have to be jumping for joy. I know Bill is jumping for joy because I know there are tapes of Bill with girls that he has. That has been known. That's well known. The 66-year-old's death came one day after the Miami Herald and other news organizations published a trove of documents describing in detail how he operated the equivalent of a sexual pyramid scheme, luring underage girls to his Palm Beach home, then coercing them into sex. All right, we're going to be watching the story. I just want to give an update. For those of us who've been paying attention, knew this was happening. This man had some heavy-duty information on people. But dead man tell no tales. Jeffrey Epstein is no more.